Austraeoh by Imploding Colon, read by Deathlight, Chapter 178, Convulsions. When Rainbow Dash heard her, she was slapped out of the stupor she had been sitting in for so long that she had hardly acknowledged it. She looked over her shoulder, squinting. Huh? What'd you say? I said, it looks like you're really missing the sky. Ember Speaker remarked with an innocent smile. Rainbow sighed and gazed off towards the length of the sanctuary. As her mind cleared, she realized it's been a few hours since she last spoke to the royal prince. I wish it were that simple, but I could totally do with a dose of moonlight. Ember arrived at her side and squinted down. The lights above your land of Austraeoh, are they the source of your power or something? Rainbow Dash smiled thinly. They're not just the lights of Austraeoh, they shine over the whole world. The princesses I once answered to were in charge of way more than just taxes and tea parties. The stars spun under their command. And yet, they're not powerful enough to come and rescue you out of a place like this? Ember Speak swallowed. Or the rest of us? Rainbow Dash flashed her a look, blinking. Were you at the council? I heard about the proceedings. Ember said sheepishly. Within 10 minutes of a meeting, practically every civilian knows how it went down. Rainbow Dash took a deep breath and gazed once more into the distant rock and torchlight. I'm sorry, Ember. Sorry? For what? That it can't be your Pegasus in shining armor. Rainbow growled, fumbling briefly as she fidgeted with her hooves. You guys already have one of those, and not even he's enough to drive the dragons away. Ember smiled softly. Never in my life have I expected Sam Rose to be the answer to all of Sylvato's problems. Rainbow Dash gave her a vulnerable glance. Then, why do you follow him to your dying breath and stuff? I've lived all my days in a dim place with no east or west, up or down. I need something to follow, we all do. Sam Rose's courage and sacrifice is inspiring. It leads us to strike pain and fear into an enemy that thinks it can dominate or eliminate us. It's easy at times to think our culture was defeated over a century ago, and that there's nothing left to fight for. And then Sam Rose leads the servicing, and suddenly there's a reason to live other than to fade away. He could very well lead you into oblivion. I'd rather face nothingness charging and screaming than curled up in the darkness. Rainbow gave a dry chuckle and tilted her gaze to the high ceilings above. You dudes are certainly a cheerful bunch. There's a certain degree of joy and guile I bet you know a thing or two about. She blinked, then gasped. Miss Dash! Rainbow was convulsing. With two forelimbs, she grabbed her cranium and doubled over, shaking intensely. Miss Dash! Ember stood up and held her shoulders while panting. What's wrong? What's happening to you? Rainbow Dash hissed through seething teeth. Her eyes rolled back in her head, and Ember thought she saw the colors change between the squinting lids. It will pass. It doesn't last very long. This is just what happened when we found you with the dragons. She winced. Something's horribly wrong with you. Quick, we need to get you to the infirmary. The doctor's treating Swirls as we speak. Certainly, he can see you. No! Rainbow snarled. She flung a hoof up and grabbed it around one of Ember's forelimbs. The doctor can't do anything. Nobody can do anything. It will pass, or it won't pass at all. Ember's face stretched in pain and confusion. But what can I do? Rainbow gulped hard and muttered through her convulsions. Just stay with me. Just be here. And for the love of oats, make sure my pendant doesn't come off. Yeah, okay. Ember nodded in a weak breath. Okay, I can do that. She lay down next to Rainbow Dash, her eyes awash in worry. As Rainbow shook and quivered, the copper mare laid a gentle forelimb over her shoulder and kept her eyes trained on the Pegasus neck pendant. For an indeterminable 10 minutes, this quietly proceeded, and finally, Rainbow Dash's body started to relax. She breathed evenly, regaining the length in her limbs. After a while, with Ember Speak's gentle support, she sat up and slicked her mane back. Rainbow gulped, and her voice cracked as she said, Thanks for not freaking out too much. What was happening to you? Ember breathed in a tone of sincere worry. It'd take too long to explain. Ember smiled and motioned towards the stone walls around them. Does it look like I'm going anywhere? Normally, I'm the one to go somewhere. Rainbow Dash said, smiling with a bitter chuckle. Ember blinked, then said, That sounds like an interesting life. What does? Being able to leave anywhere or any place at a moment's notice. Rainbow winced. Yeah, well, I'm fine here. Are you? I can't shake the feeling that there's been something clawing at you since you arrived at Sanctuary. Up above, in the ruins, you seem so... Rainbow squinted at her. So what? Ember shrugged. I don't know, but I think this place is doing something to you. I wasn't blowing hot air when I said you missed the sky. You're really good at talking to ponies and being around them, but I don't think that's really your thing. What is my thing? Ember opened her mouth to speak, hesitated, then ultimately said, You have so many colors, so many brave traits. I think you were born to see the whole world and not be cooped up in a grave. Rainbow Dash stared at her. There's lots of graves to choose from. She gave the entirety of the enormous chamber a forlorn look. I just don't think it's this place. Ember was about to respond to that when a noise sounded off from behind them. The two ponies turned about in time to see Tiny Cold stumbling clumsily from behind a hiding place. Lime Tech, what are you doing here past your bedtime? Oh, I'm sorry. Limey fidgeted, smiling nervously under the loose pair of goggles that he was desperately attempting to set right. I was just, walking by, yeah. I totally didn't mean to interrupt anything. Go ahead. Ember Speak and Rainbow Dash exchanged glances. They looked back at the foal. Go ahead and do what? Limey blinked innocently. You're gonna kiss, right? Ember did a double take. I mean, that's what adults sitting next to each other and talking all serious like do, right? What's it, we? Ember stammered, her cheeks red. Rainbow completely collapsed in a fit of guffawing laughter, kicking her hooves up. Ember frowned, staring down at her hooves. Lime Tech, you've been listening to Zeto way too much. Oh, I really needed that. Rainbow wiped a tear, still snickering. Whew, you're awesome, kid. You can afford to stick those goggles where your mouth is, but you're awesome. I don't get it though. I saw Miss Dash shaking and stuff. Is she sick? I'm starting to wonder. Ember muttered with thin eyes. I'm fine, kiddo. Rainbow Dash said, then started to compose herself. Trust me, I couldn't feel any better. She smiled, fidgeted, then brought her hoof back and forced her wings to coil to her sides in a deadpan expression. 'Cause, you know, if Miss Dash is being separated from the sky, I know just the place for her. Lemmy said, beaming.
The glow chambers beyond the Unicorn District. They're really bright at this time of night.
Lime Tech, please, you should be asleep right now. And besides, the glow chambers are off limits to fools like you. I can't believe Zeta lets you into those places.
Wait a second.
Rainbow exclaimed, raising a hoof.
Glow chambers?
She narrowed her eyes.
What kind of glow?
Lemmy fidgeted.
Bright gray glows. The caverns have vertical chasms that open up to thin pieces of the surface. They're too small for the dragons to notice, or for a pony to climb through. We keep them for collecting rain and stuff. I'm surprised Miss Speak didn't tell you.
And you're telling me, at this time of night, they glow?
Yeah, isn't it cool?
Rainbow was shivering, holding a pair of hooves over a golden pendant. She gulped and nodded.
Kid, you don't know the definition of cool. Not yet.
She shot up on hovering wings, smiling wickedly.
Come on, I want to go see them before the glow goes away. Right this way!
Lemmy galloped away.
Hey!
Speak gasped and clambered after the two.
Wait for me!